You see, if you work a 9 to 5, you've lived a sheltered upbringing, or like you've never known anyone or been involved in gun crime, you might as well skip this video. This ain't for you. We're not gonna see eye to eye, and I can't be asked to be seeing your dumb comments. Um, yeah, this is for the people that's actively, yeah, actively partaking in certain crimes and walking up and down with certain things. As somebody that has been involved in a lot of them crimes and have second strike firearm offences. Recently, I've just come out just over a year ago for firearms offences. Initially got nicked for intent to endanger life until I pleaded out of the case. Well, for me, I want to give you my personal account on how they've affected my life. Um, First time I saw one, I was about 7, 8. My mum's boyfriend was a bad man in the ends or whatnot. And yeah, I found one underneath the armchair. And then after that, I just always stuck in my head. Do you know what I'm saying? And I always was fascinated by them. Up until then, I just saw them on TV and like, do you know what I'm saying? I didn't know if they was real or not or whatever. But when I saw this one in the house, it made me know, yeah, these are real. These are accessible. Do you know what I'm saying? When you're older, you can get one of these. So yeah, after that, I went through life till I was about, how old was I? Like 20. Was I 20? No, I think I was like 18. Yeah, I was about 18. And a girl that used to live in my foster home, her boyfriend had like one around him. That I noticed it, I saw it immediately. Yeah, there's my access right there. So after a while, me being corrupted as a local youth, I stole it out of the yard. I stole it, and then for like the next couple months, I proceeded to, do you know what I'm saying, do the gun clown thing and, do you know what I'm saying, backing it out every opportunity, running down, man. But you know what? Back then, this is like 2005 or something like that, bro. Like, see, back then, they wasn't as prominent and people wasn't as desensitized and used to them. So back then, you could pull one out and have there could be 30 men in front of you, they're chipping. Man could go and lock down a whole estate on your own with one of those joints. Do you understand? So back then it was like, yeah, I was power tripping. A bit like, have you seen Juice? A bit like Tupac when he's, do you know what I'm saying? Obviously it never got to the point where man's unaliving friends, but definitely power tripping. What happened is I ended up selling it. There was no teeth. And yeah, the person that I sold it to ended up coming back to me talking, saying basically there weren't no pin in there, firing pin, basically what the hammer hits. But anyway, there was no firing pin. So yeah, that was my first little delve into it. And then as I got a bit older, like into my early 20s, 21, 20, 20, started mixing with the yardies in Brixton. I'm not gonna mention none of their names, but yeah. And that was the first time I was given one for myself, like my own thing. You get me? Um, First of all, it was like a borrowing thing. I borrowed it. Then I had it for long. I ended up keeping hold of it. Um, at that time, it was just like power. Like I felt invincible. I didn't care about anyone else that had their whatever, whatever. I just thought, you know what? From this day on, man is never taking a check ever, ever, ever again. And I've lived a hard life up until that point. Like I know what being vulnerable is all about. I've grown up in domestic violence household. Like I've seen the worst. You get me? Man's been like at that point there. I've been rushed plenty of times. Man's had beef with older people. Like man's been going through it. So at this time, I just thought, you know what, turning up. Like certain people that I grew up with and created and that noticed the change. Obviously, I'm starting to try and assert my dominance. I think, yeah, I'm the wickedest thing, so I become a more less likable person. Um, but in my head, I'm just thinking about governing. Do you know what I'm saying? Man is the wickedest thing out here. I need to see the competition where they at, kind of thing. Like after all these years of you lot looking down at man or backbiting man and that. Obviously, there's still a few men that I kind of check for now and then, but I had too much anger, too much PTSD, and I was getting triggered too much. So by then, I was heavily involved in like gang stuff. Do you know what I'm saying? With blood set, things was going on. Gun crime as well. So by now, man, feeling very heavy. It's like I used to leave the house. Do you know what? Not even them time now. On the hill, it was more of a learning curve. I'm not gonna lie. The youths over there was a bit more advanced than I was, but I just had the access. So what I did, at one point I had like three in my house, and the man them used to come check me and chill with me. Like that was my internet. That I'd bring them to the cradle and that, make them terrorize the place, and then on the ends I got the hammers. So that's how I was able to transition from Croydon to Brixton Hill seamlessly and become, do you understand, one at the top of the pecking order in my local team. You get me? Um, Obviously, not everyone liked it. A lot of people thought, who is this youth from Croydon? Why does he think he's bad? How has he managed to do this? Why is he with them and there? Do you understand? But because of how man was at that time, it was like man was itching, bro. Man was really, really ratted. Like at that time, I didn't think I'd live to my age. No, I didn't even think I'd live to 30. So, and I kind of made peace with it. Do you understand? So it's always press gas, 24/7 pressing gas. And yeah, man, it got to the point now where, yeah, fireworks. I'm the one that's letting them off, and then it's feeding. Do you understand? It's feeding my ego even more to the point where I got a god complex. Do you understand? Like I can't take chat from no one. No one's wickeder than man. Like John, even like older man from the ends and that man in the back of man's head, man's scheming. Do you understand? Yeah, gone jail. Man's had to learn how to maneuver without it again. Do you understand? Because I had it around me every day. Like I'm not exaggerating. I had the thing with me every day for like 2, 3 years until I went to jail. So now that I'm in jail, my anxiety's up through the roof. Man's paro. Man's violated bare things on the road. Man's done bare things. Man's in there without my hammer now. Man's all skinny, smoking tweed, not living right on the roads. So you get me? My eyes is wide, looking for reprisals or who I'm gonna buck. Um, Man bucked a few man in there, but nothing that I would need to speak of. Um, yeah. The moment I got back out of jail, what did I do? Gonna rise up. And what I went jail for was attempted armed robbery. Yeah. So bam now. Um, man's back out on the roads, picking up things again, picking up straight back where I left off. God mode again, thinking that man's the wickedest thing outside. These time here, man's reps getting bigger now. Do you understand? Like the whole time I'm in jail, like there was a big divide on bricks and how there was always a little divide anyway, right, with the blood set ones and the blending ones and that. But basically, by the time I've come out of jail now, it's like, yeah, the blood set ones has disappeared. Like blood set don't exist no more. I want to tell you what finished blood set. Yeah, Joker finished blood set, but I'll get into that at another time. Um, and then that's how I ended up transitioning from Brixton Hill blood set to Summer Leighton. round about them times there, that whole gas gang thing was kicking off and all that. But me not being in that age bracket, I'm none the wiser to certain things. Do you understand? But obviously I learnt later on down ins and outs, and obviously it might have been a bit hard for some of the Bricks and Hill lot to see me with some later ones. Do you understand? But I always try to show the whole love, regardless. You get me? I've always got a soft spot for the hill. The hill kind of defined me and made me who I was. Like that was that path. That's when I took that path. Do you understand? And yeah, so I'm in Summerley, and now it's not as active as the hill was. Do you understand? On the hill there was multiple man that's willing to crash out. On the ends for a long time it was just me, bro. There would be man that was willing to drive. There's man there that's willing to chat off their mouth, but for a good few years, I was the guy over there doing certain things. So that's feeding my ego, my ego, my ego. Do you understand? To the point where man thinks man is the wickedest thing, bro. I keep saying that, but you don't understand. But at these times here, I'm desensitized now. I would say I'm not emotional, but I am emotional because man was quick to fly off the handle. You get me? But at the same time, when it comes to girl and normal things, normal issues and stuff, man didn't want to know. Like man was just so desensitized. Man couldn't hold down a proper relationship. Man's PTSD. I didn't even know I had it. So man just acting weird and not even knowing. I'm just thinking I'm weird. And the more that I'm thinking I'm weird, I'm just going in myself. Do you know what I'm saying? I, I didn't even know that I had ADHD or autism. That's something I learned later on. But with the CPTSD, you kind of know that I've been through a lot, so it wasn't too hard to, yeah, something ain't right. But I just thought that I was tapped because of how I was born. I thought, yeah. So I just kept going in myself and playing dumb to catch the wires. And that's what I used to tell myself. So then I started doing it, and then I started doing it too much to where people started to second guess me or think. For a long time, people didn't know I could articulate myself and talk, and do you know what I'm saying? My friends outside of the ends, they did because obviously when I'm around them, that's what it is. But when I'm on their estate or around a certain type of man, them they just see me one way. Do you understand? As the crusher, yeah, as the madman. But really and truly, um, I was to an extent, but there was more to it, and there was more to me. But some people kind of felt threatened. Remember, like I've come from Croydon, Brixton Hill, then Summer Leighton, and obviously, like yeah, certain people are starting to feel threatened by a man's presence, and because I'm getting the limelight, and local bros is looking up to man and these things, and they felt like it should have been them. Do you know what I mean? And I fully understand it. Once again, I'm originally from Croydon. How the fuck is this you just patterned on the hill and now he's patterning on the rack, even though the rack and them man be like, how's he doing all of this? Like, who the fuck is he? You get me? Man's heard all the little sayings, overnight bad boy, this one, that one. But it is what it is, man. If you ain't got no haters, a man chatting shit, you're not doing nothing right. And by that time, I didn't care. Like I was just waiting for the day that I get emmed off, like lifed off or emmed off. I swear to God, it's only till I hit 30 that I started to realize, listen, there's more to life than this shit. And that's when I started to want it to live. Do you understand? I started to learn about myself a bit more. I started to want things for myself. Do you know what I'm saying? Like even simple things like having a 9 to 5 don't make you less of a man. It took me to my 30s to realize that. What makes you less of a man is not having a stable income. Do you understand? That is what comes first. Once you have your stable income, yeah, you can run up and down and do all the other things as well. Do you understand? But not having that, touching the road, bro, not being able to support your friend, like not even your friends, but your family, your pitney, yourself, that's what makes you less of a man. But see me, I just grew up caring about hammers, ringers. invest my peas in that, invest my peas in that, teeth that, teeth that. Do you understand? I wouldn't really care about drip and making mad bread. Obviously, man, it wasn't ever bummy, but man never cared about the mad bread. You see, certain man, their drive was make money, trap, stack as much rate. Mine wasn't. Mine was, where's the trouble? What's going on? What, they got street party over there? Come and go and crash that. I was so angry that I just wanted to inflict pain on everyone. I'm not gonna lie. Even today, I'm still surprised sometimes at like how life turned out. Sometimes I feel bitter. I feel like I've done way too much. I feel like the world owes me something. I feel like I've put my life on the line too many times for certain people and certain situations for me to be in this situation. Do you know what I'm saying? And then other times, I just thank myself that I've finally kind of starting to see sense. But I'm second strike, firearms now, one more and I get lifed off. Um, it's it's all easy saying, well, don't be around them. But when you are autistic and you have a fetish and you have like, you get drawn to these things. Do you understand? Add my PTSD as well. Like, the most scariest thing for me is being fit. I'm 38, but being like 45, 50 odd and still having the same thought process that I do now, still having the same impulses. Do you know what I mean? Same way I could crash out when I was 25, I could crash out now. Um, and that's my fear, that I would always be that one step away from crashing out and throwing it all away. And when you're young, you don't really think of these things. Do you understand? You just care about their immediate success and their immediate gains, who you can impress, your reputation on the roads. But you don't see like, or you haven't felt the toll of it yet. Like by now, you must be seeing these kids under 20 getting lifed off, getting 25, 30 wrecks, EPPs, EDSs, all of that. You know what I'm saying? And like, it's one wrong move, and that could be you. Do you understand? Um, us lot from round like the wreck ones, we don't really talk our thing too tough, and I think that is what's kind of left us out of a lot of arguments and debates. That even with the drill thing, who started drill and all of that, it's always 6, 7, or 150. But you're forgetting the man them was there. Yeah. But because we don't talk up our thing, we just let the narrative run. And it goes like that for street work as well. Yeah, there's bare things going on, but we don't really talk up our thing. So we just let other niggas claim it. So we just let next man claim it and talk up the thing. Do you understand? And I think that's what's kind of kept a lot of us out of big birds and big sentences. Do you know what I'm saying? Um, but that, obviously it's a blessing, but at the same time, you gotta know when to call it a day, man. How many W's you think you're gonna get before you get that one big L? Yeah, and when you see that L, when you get it, it could be a loss, something a too big of a loss that you can handle, or it could be a life sentence, bro. Finished. And then nothing, all them things you cared about don't matter no more, bro. I promise you. Even me, I've done light birds. Yeah, I was, I've been the number one guy on my block to do this thing and defend everyone's thing. I used to ride out for my young G's. Imagine that. Ride out for my brethren, ride out for my young G's. I go, Joe, you think man's coming to buck me with champagne and all these things? You think man's got stacks for me, bro? Like, I might come across sour, like, but I'm not. I'm just telling you the facts. Two bids I've done round there come out to nothing. Do you understand? Maybe in other ends is it might have gone on like that, but unfortunately, man's from South, and do you know what? It's dog eat dog, man. Sometimes I get bitter. Sometimes I think my bit's ungrateful. Do you know what I'm saying? Certain times I feel like certain man wouldn't be able to do what they're doing if it wasn't for man. And We're all gonna feel like that. It's human. Do you know what I'm saying? But at other times, I just like count it as a blessing. Like, yeah, like just go where you wanted, move on, forget about that period of your life. Do you understand? Because a lot of people will be happy to see the back of me if I'm really, really honest. And to be fair with you, me too. I'll be happy to see the back of them. To be fair, I was brainwashed for a very long time, thinking that the only value I had in life was to be a crasher, or do you understand? The only power I had was the firearm and to intimidate people. Do you understand? It's only now in my late adult life that I'm starting to realize and find more value in myself and become a better person. And the quicker you do that, the better quality of life you have. I think a lot of the younger generation are starting to learn that we can't help it, the surroundings or environment we're born in. But you see, when you've got that bread, just make a decision in it. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna carry on trapping and I need to go from this to a brick to that, or are you gonna go and enjoy your life, bro? Do you know what I'm saying? There needs to be a time where you actually enjoy and live a life. Too many people get stuck in the trap every day. Take it all, bounce back. Take it all, bounce back. Like when when do you actually get to enjoy it and spend it on what you want and what you was initially doing it for? But like I said, a lot of the younger ones today, they're starting to wise up. They're flying out. They're doing things. They're living. Some of them, I might say, is growing up a bit too fast. But it is what it is, man. These are treacherous, dangerous times, man. So we got to do what we can. But the whole part of this story is that I just want people to take from this and be able to look into themselves. Like, I've had PTSD, bro. I tell you now, bro. You see, when I leave the yard, all I feel is a feeling in my belly go, whoo, and I'm fight or flight, adrenaline rushing, bro. 24/7. I've lived with that for like 15 years, bro. Literally. Like, I leave the house, it don't matter who I'm with, what I'm doing, yeah. My adrenaline is up, bro. Fight or flight up. Butterflies in my stomach. All of that. Every day when I leave this house. My anxiety is through the roof. Tarot. Do you understand? And it's dangerous. That's a dangerous concoction because at any minute, man could have that impulse and it could go left. And at my age, it's scary that you could just throw everything away just like that. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave you with that. I don't want to lecture you too much. Obviously, I've only come out last year for these type of things. I don't want to come across as a hypocrite. I just want to come across as someone that's had lived an experience. And if you could take anything away from this to try and better your life or try and, you know what I'm saying, do better, then please, man. I know it's hard when everyone's walking up and down with zombies and Rambos and that, but bro, like nothing's gonna change unless people start one by one, man. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, try not to be in them environments, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Try not to socialize with them type of people. You see, if you're living in a state and a block and that's all you see and know, then start like looking at like I don't know, like social things or sports or something, bro. Like find a boxing club that's a little bit further out your area. Do you know what I'm saying? Go there humble, bro. Don't go there with your chest out. Go there and act like you're someone that wants to do better. And do you know what I mean? They might take you in with open arms, man. I know they got the postcode things and that, but bro, just there's ways to navigate this thing, and that's what you lot need to be logging into and learning. Do you know what I mean? Stop following man and all of that, yeah, because it's dead. Um, I'm a fine example, bro, of in a sense, the roads chewed man out and spat man back out, bro. Because I've gone into the roads kind of with nothing. I've built myself up, built up my name, had a little money, rate, but then I'm 38 with nothing. Do you understand? When I went to prison, they took my yard, all my possessions that was in my yard, I lost. Even my Ross Clark pet in the yard, lost. Do you know what I'm saying? Gal at the time, lost. Like man come out of jail with nothing to start again fresh at 38. And even I had to make the decision, like, I had to make the choice. Like, what am I going to do and how am I going to get back and bounce back up? Am I going to do the road thing, the easy way out? Or am I going to finally start to try and change my life around? And do you know what I'm saying? Try and do better. And at first, I'll be honest with you, I went back to all I know. Had a couple close shaves. Do you know what I mean? But it's like my relationships with my peers and the people that I've been around that kind of made me change. And some of it's positive, some of it's negative. Do you know what I'm saying? The people that owe me their respect and are indebted to me are the ones that show me the most negativity or go like I've done them something. Do you understand? Things is looking up for me. Finally, at 38, it's a joke thing. You could do this from like 20s, 23s. Obviously, you're gonna fuck about, like, do you understand? Like, you are, like, it's your rite of passage, and everyone needs to find themselves and find out who they are in this world. Do you understand? But just learn, yeah. Work smarter, not harder, and just learn yourself. Yeah. If you know yourself, then no one can draw you out, chat you, or run no games. Yeah. The worst thing in life is letting a man have control of your emotions. Yeah, because then they can draw you out. You become predictable. Do you understand? That's what I've got to say. Life in this gutter environment. S3 out.